Hey y'all. So the other day I was having brunch with a new friend of mine, beautiful soul, and it sparked a conversation of restoration versus resurrection. Now, oftentimes we think if something has not happened, it's either a okay, it's a done deal because God, I asked about this like 3 years ago, and it still hasn't happened. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Now, I personally know of a couple that got divorced. Okay, so of course you think that's a dead thing. Got divorced, but a few years later they got back together, remarried, and it's been like almost 20 years, the second round. So in that case, that was something that had to be torn apart, broken down, like an old house, if you will, and rebuilt with a better foundation. So once they got a rebuilt foundation, a better foundation, their home was able to be more stable. Their home was able to withstand a lot more. Now I'm going to paraphrase this and put this in Aya speak. This is not going to be in the King James version, okay? So when Lazarus' sisters called for Jesus, your boy is over here dying, okay? I'm going to need you to come and heal him because you Jesus. You and Lazarus, y'all cool like that. So Jesus did not come when they thought, he should. Of course, like right now because he's dying. But Jesus came when he chose to come. And instead of healing him, instead of restoring him, he resurrected him. Don't you think that gave a greater impact rather than just, okay, you're healed. Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Jesus, you bringing people back from the dead now? Oh, okay. And when Jesus came, they're like, Jesus is, don't worry about it. It's cool. It's too late. He's already gone. But then they saw, the ultimate power of what he could do. So that's the same thing with situations in our lives. We're praying for like a marriage to be saved, a business to be saved, a relationship to be saved. We're praying for things to be healed and restored when sometimes he wants to resurrect something so that the glory can be greater, so that the impact can be greater. So when we are praying for things, God, I got $500 in my account. Okay, now I have 300. Okay, you know what? Now it's in the negative. In that time, you may have been trusting and asking God and believing God to restore your account to a certain amount of money, a certain level that you were comfortable with. But no, you went all the way into the negative, and boom, what happened? You receive a financial overflow of some kind. He chose to resurrect in that case, not just bring up. No, I'm waiting until it's completely done, perceived dead, and wiped out. And I'm going to resurrect that thing that you have been believing in me for, that you have been praying for, that you have been, it may be years, it may be months, days, years. But my point is, don't always think because it doesn't happen when we want it to or when we think it needs to happen, but just keep trusting that it will happen. And sometimes we're praying for, a relationship to work out. Sometimes we need to just let that thing die. Okay? Let that thing die. And then not necessarily allow that particular relationship to be restored or resurrected, but a completely new thing. Because maybe that relationship of any kind, not just a romantic kind, but of any kind may have been, toxic. And that's not what God wants for you, is to have toxic relationships. And sometimes when people are in toxic relationships or bad relationships and they are scorned, they completely give up on love. As long as you believe in God, you should always believe in love because God is love. all that is good and perfect comes from God. So that relationship was not good. Let that go and allow God to resurrect new love, healthy love, better. Allow God to resurrect new, healthy, more pure, better, whatever it is that you're asking him to restore, replenish, revive, and he doesn't. Sometimes just rest. Just be still in God and let him resurrect an absolutely new and beautiful thing in your life. If you believe in his word, if you believe in his promises, hold on to that and trust him to resurrect the things that should be resurrected in our lives. So I'm sending you light and love, and I hope you receive it.